Hello, my fellow What If students, and welcome to my dojo. I am British Sensei. If you are new here, and have no idea who I am, please watch the first video of this series. Or if you don't want to and just want to watch this video, information will be down in the description. I spent time writing these what ifs, so I would really appreciate it if you like, subscribe, and comment the ideas and stories that I should do next. Just like I do in every single video, I would just like to say thank you to everyone who watches my videos from start to finish. Like, you don't even know how much I appreciate it, especially when you like and subscribe. It's amazing. Anyway, today I'll be teaching you the My Hero Academia style. Heads up, in this story I'm naming Izuku Deku. I know in canon, Bakugo was the one who was calling Izuku Deku, but for example, if Deku's mom calls him Deku, that is actually no mistake. I've actually named Izuku Deku. It's just simple. Yeah. Last time on What If Deku was the son of Meliodas and Elizabeth. Deku chose his hero name as Archangel. Ironic, right? I mean, you would only know if you've watched the first few videos. Deku surprised his whole class in the PE test. Some mysterious villains caught wind of All Might's presence at the school and have trespassed. Will they be able to defeat the villains? If so, who will defeat them? What will happen? Those are the questions that will be answered this time on What If Deku was the son of Meliodas and Elizabeth. Okay, let's start. Right after Todoroki and Bakugo ran to the top floor of the practice city building, a dark warp gate opened at the entrance. Everyone stepped back from the unexpected event. Villains? Thought All Might. No, it can't be. This school has top-class security and checkups every hour. So, wait, what? An unfamiliar hand stretched out of the portal, and soon a whole body with arms grappling its limbs was visible. Then a sound came out from its mouth. You did a pretty bad job covering your presence here. You can only blame yourself for our arrival, All Might. All Might turned his head, worried by the villainous aura the person was emitting. Is that his quirk, aura? The pale man stumbled out of the building, and as he was about to fall, he smacked his palm on one of the walls of the building. Then, the whole structure crumbled to dust, and Todoroki and Bakugo also fell down. This was no time for student experience training. These were unfortunately real SS Plus rated villains. Everyone, keep hidden. Ida, head back to school to report the situation. I must uphold my name as the symbol of peace, said All Might, raising his fist up to the air. But the villain was already way ahead of him. Oh, no, you don't. Shigaraki says if you move one step, this kid is dead meat. No, dead dust, he stated. All Might looked in awe. He's her grandson, Shigaraki. Then he noticed the person whose life was on the line was the one who started the incident all those years ago. But he pushed it to the back of his head. That wasn't important right now. Clouds started gathering in the sky. All Might rushed into action. He was just about to destroy the villain when an alien-looking creature showed itself before him. Its eyes were rolling wildly until it looked down, finding its target, the person whose face was clearly implanted in its head, its sworn enemy, All Might. The hero looked up and down to see his 50% punch, which was about to hit Shigaraki, did absolutely no effect on the creature. Then, with no time to even react, it punched him, already almost taking All Might out of his buff form. Shigaraki glanced down at the green-haired boy standing at his side. The sky was getting abnormally dark. "Meh, I don't feel like taking out the trash today," complained the pale man. Deku could run, but that might end up in being either him exposing his classmates' location or even getting followed or tracked by a villain. He had to use his power. For the first time in his life, he had to do it 100%. There was also a feeling that was, for some reason, bugging him. Looking towards the horizon, he saw his favorite hero being pummeled. Behind them, villains that wouldn't hesitate to kill them if they were asked to. And in the buildings, his friends, hoping that they would come and join him. Or this was all a dream. It was now or never. He closed his eyes and let his darkness take over as he swam down the never-ending sea of his mind. In the real world, he was unconscious, but his darkness was controlling his body. He only had one objective, and that was to defeat all of the villains. A mark had appeared on his head. The pressure of his power ripped away the top half of his suit, leaving him topless and displaying the hours of work he'd put into getting ready for Japan's #1 school. Dark miasma danced around his arm and covered his whole body and a portion of his head. 4 wings sprouted from his back. His friends, which were watching from nearby buildings, looked on in horror, with only one question growing bigger and bigger in their minds. What had become of Deku? Back at home, in the attic, a sword was starting to tremble until it burst through a window and reached the hand of Deku in seconds. Deku opened it slightly, then closed it again. Instantly, all of the villains were injured and didn't even have time to feel pain when they collapsed. The weird creature was still standing and had already healed itself. It had defeated All Might and had now found a new target. Right then, a little announcement. Guys, you might call Deku weak, but remember, he had half of his power sealed. So, yeah, he'll have to use 100%. But don't worry, he'll get stronger along the way. So it directed its focus to him, and was already a step in front of him when Deku dropped his sword. Alright, so you're still up after that. Okay, I'll hit you with punches you can't heal from! He smashed the creature repeatedly, filling him up with his power until he was about to burst. He turned his back and walked away as the destruction took place behind him. He kept his word, and that was the end of the creature they now called Nomu. The villains were starting to wake up already. Deku turned his head to look at the rising villains that were intent on killing him. His eyes were blank, clothes were ripped apart, and emitting an aura of something that didn't even feel human. Behind the hand, Shigaraki was scared out of his pale skin. Snipe which had been alerted by Ida coming to the school, and a few other heroes arrived at the scene. They were able to injure the villains, but unfortunately, just like in canon, they escaped the sword. Then, after defeating all of the villains, Deku glanced one last look at his sword, which was still on the floor. Then it disappeared, and all the dark miasma which had been covering Deku's body was now gone as well. He fell down unconscious and needed some help. Then, after the sword disappeared, it reappeared at the bottom of the ocean, a place he wouldn't find it, a sword that would only come at his most desperate times. The teachers gazed at the destruction. "Call the ambulance, and please get Recovery Girl on the scene," commanded Midnight. For the next few days, Deku, Todoroki, All Might, and others who were injured by the previous attacks spent their time in the school hospital. Some heroes spent time trying to find the tweaks they should add to the security of the school, but unintentionally found meager evidence of Deku being the school's savior. Somehow, it got to the public, and the press were desperate to get their hands on him. They tried to break through the walls. But this time, because the villains were still recovering, they weren't there to destroy themselves, which also meant that the press were unsuccessful in breaking through. Then finally, after some time, everyone recovered and was soon back to class. The next day, Deku was a bit later than usual, and he was walking through the corridor when he noticed a large crowd outside his class door. Two boys, including Bakugo, were arguing, and the other boy was raven-haired. Wasn't exactly raven, but it was the same color as Ida's, basically. Then, before he could even get there, the fire of their rages were negated, and they left to start their days. "Hey, Bakugo," said Deku, walking into class. Bakugo froze. "What was that power you shot?" Bakugo sat down. "That was the 5th time I've had to tell you this month, before and after the attack. And Deku, I expected more of you." They all settled down, and Isaiah walked to the podium thing and said, "In 5 days' time, we will have something called the UA Festival." Okay, thank you guys for listening to the end of this video. I really appreciate it, so please comment the ideas and stories I should do next, and also don't forget to like and subscribe. Really appreciate all of them. Yes, all of them. Yeah, so down in the description, might have noticed a small change that I did. I don't know if it's complete or not, but I kind of made a Discord on Twitch, so you can go there and you can more freely tell me about the stuff which can help me get better. Yeah, so there. And I'd also like to talk about our lifehack channel. So yeah, our lifehack channel is called Hack Panda. We tried it out. We're still making some videos, trying our best. So we also appreciate that if you could go there and check it out. Also, my sister's channel, which is also down there, it's called Choco Beauty, and she does vlogs, and she's also thinking about doing some choreography in the future. Yeah, so like, subscribe, and thank you. Peace out. Lesson over. Riches Sensei. Bye.